Hello everyone, and welcome to the final update. Well, never mind. I can't say
Final update.
the final update. I ripped it.
I don't think we'll get a second chance at this. We pull this off, we can save the Traveler. If not, the Vex will seize our worlds.
You asked not too long ago if this was I Am Legend, and I told you not yet. But today we become legend.
Legend of Mars?
Legend of Guardians, maybe. Or Legend of Humans? Anyway.
Well, we have that great movie called Ghosts of Mars. We have a ghost, and we're on Mars, so...
Incredible.
It's not a good movie. It's not good at all.
Well, it's probably for the best that I haven't seen it then, huh?
Well, it's good in a very hammy sort of way.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it features Ice Cube.
Oh, good.
I'm pretty sure it features Ice Cube. I can't really remember. It's been so long since I've seen it. Anyway...
So, this is, I believe, the longest traveling bit in any of the missions. And I'd like to think it's a symbol of our long, arduous journey through this LP so far.
It hasn't been that long.
It's been 2 years.
Imagine that's a spit take.
The Vex are going to do everything they can to keep us out of the Black Garden.
Yes, it's been 2 years since we started this LP.
Mm-hmm.
We're aiming for the longest LP on the sub forum.
I think we've got some very stiff competition on that one. By which I mean,
yeah.
There's been a few that have been nearly abandoned, but came back from the brink after like a year or two. I don't know. Anyway, we saw this architecture, or this structure before, back in the first mission to Mars, but now we finally have the ability to move through it.
We can move through it and heal.
I don't get that one.
That's your loss.
So I'm still using the Mida multi-tool. Fear not, we will actually swap off of it at some point during the video.
So I'd just like to say it's almost poetic that Ugg is the one who starts this and finishes this.
Yeah.
In fact, you could say it almost rhymes.
If this is the Black Garden, it's not on any map of known space.
So you get that one, don't you?
I guess we just keep going.
So, you might notice there's a guy following me. He won't be following me for long. We're not in a fire team or anything. It's just that, this is still technically considered a public space. And now he's gone.
Goblins not moving.
Our ghost actually just mentioned they're in some sort of like stasis or something. It's very atmospheric.
Can you destroy them? Or are they kind of just like... That one's missing an arm. They're not in stasis. They're falling apart.
No, by the way, you cannot destroy them. Also, who's to say Vex need both of their arms to operate?
Are they robots?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so they can probably just reattach an arm, it's fine.
Yeah. Also, this is probably the best look you're gonna get at a Vex Goblin. They're pretty fucking tall.
Well, I mean, tall compared to a human.
Yeah.
They're probably not very tall compared to, say, that other race that I totally remember the name of.
Cabal?
Mm-hmm. That's the one.
They might actually be equal. It's just very hard to tell since the Cabal are way beefier.
It would have been in a fight between them. Between the Vex and the Cabal.
In-game, I don't think there's an actual answer to that one. But just off of like personal speculation, I would probably say the Vex would. Because
Is that because they're endless?
yeah, well, they're endless. They control time and fucking space, and they are all of one mind.
That makes sense. The Cabal are just very beefy.
Yeah. If it was a one-on-one fist fight, the Cabal would fucking murder the goddamn Vex. Let me tell you that much.
Well, I'd love to mention a certain thing that happens in Destiny 2. Well, I mean, we do have a video on it.
We
The
do.
Cabal do destroy the... place.
The tower, yeah.
Yeah, the tower.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, like, the Citadel, but that's Mass Effect.
Yeah. Yep, that would be
Close enough.
some.
Same thing.
That would be some crossing wires there.
Wait, you mean we're not... Wait. Reference missing 404, file not found.
There's something extremely dark.
I don't remember what the big bad guys are called in Mass Effect. Well, that's a rip of that joke.
This is the second time I've had to answer this one
Reapers!
for you. Or you've answered it yourself, but you've still forgotten, so the damage is done. Also, look at this vista. It's pretty nice, isn't it? It actually kind of looks like the same one we saw in the Destiny 2 beta video. Shameless plug. Overlooking the last city as it's burning.
I didn't
Or
know
rather-
we were fighting the Reapers. There we go. Joke complete.
Anyway, I said that incorrectly. I should have said Destiny 2's kind of reminiscent of this one. Since this came first, obviously.
Well, yeah, I mean, that only makes sense. It'd be weird to have a sequel to a game where it's nothing at all to do with the other ones. The other one.
Yeah. There's got to at least be some sort of thread between them.
Or if it's a direct sequel. I mean, if it's like a sequel, but it's its own standalone thing, then it doesn't have to be connected.
Right. So, I remember mentioning that the Cabal were basically the main enemy of Mars. That being said, we're fighting nothing but Vex for this entire video. Because
We've been
the
lied
game...
to.
The game doesn't really explain it all that well, but really, the big objective for the base game was stopping the Vex. And the fact that we only really learn of their existence on Venus over halfway through the game, it's kind of a misstep.
The Vex here are powering that barrier. Take them out.
Yeah, sounds about like that, you know.
But, I remember mentioning before, but Destiny definitely got caught in the big-time development hell. So who knows what could have happened.
Yeah, we could have ended up with a completely different game where some idiot called Commander Shepard fighting Reapers. This is my favorite ship on the Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
On the Spire? Is it called Spire?
What?
What's it called in this game?
The tower.
The Tower. Fuck, that's pretty close. Look, I'd give myself at least an 8 out of 10 for that one.
Yeah, you're alright. You definitely came close. So yeah, I spend a lot of time actually looking around this level. It's something that I didn't really do before on Earth because we've seen Earth before. We live here. The moon because most of the time we're spending in the Hellmouth and therefore seeing the same things over and over again. I don't really have an excuse for Venus, but here, I really enjoy the aesthetic of the Black Garden. Everything is very, very subdued and muted.
Including the music.
Absolutely.
Very atmospheric. I think I can even hear some wind.
Yeah, actually. It's just you, an army of Vex, and grenades in your face that you threw yourself.
It wouldn't be a Python Destiny video if he didn't hit himself in the face with grenades that he threw.
But yeah. I very much like the Black Garden as a mission, as a send off to the original the base game. It's good. I like it.
And despite there being like 3, 4 expansions,
4 of them, yeah.
4 expansions, this actually marks roughly the halfway point between the storyline.
Yeah, more or less. I'll tell you right now, the first expansion, which is The Dark Below, it's way shorter than any of the other ones. I think it's got like 3 or 4 story missions in it, then a couple of strikes and whatnot. And then the rest of the expansions are more or less their own thing. More like another planet with like 4 or 5 different story missions, some strikes and whatnot.
Just one big machine.
Let me tell you,
Get me close to the clock.
here's to another 2 years, Python.
No. Negative, sir.
Nice layup there.
Look, I tried. The Hydras have this really, really weird hitbox, by which I mean they're just a weird fucking shape.
Right.
I thought I hit him. I mean, obviously I did not, but you know.
It's alright, we'll cut some slack. Don't forget to scan those clusters.
Oh no, of course not. Hey look, there's one right now. What is it a cluster of? I don't know.
I can manipulate them. Just need to break their manifold
A
encryption.
cluster of scrap metal.
Let's hit the other one.
It very well could be.
A spire is forming.
Hey, Spire.
Hmm.
Now I know why I call it the Spire, because it's just throwing Spire at me. I'm not the one at fault, the video game is.
Obviously.
It's alright, the video game is a very easy patsy.
Well, it can't really argue back with you. I
Exactly.
mean, it can try and kill your character a couple of times, but ultimately, what did that accomplish except for wasting some time?
I mean, if the character dies, it's my fault, right?
More or less, yes.
Starting to make sense.
And here's where I take off the Mighty Multi-Tool, because it was just doing entirely too well, and I didn't want to break the tension of the encounters we will be coming up on.
Right. See, I'm a Dark Souls player, so I'm used to blaming myself for all the problems.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. So, we've scanned the clusters. Now it's time to use this conflux, and then, well, things happen.
There's gonna be a fight.
All we need is permission to enter.
Actually, that right there was the last fight of this bit here.
Really?
Mhm.
I would
You'll see.
expect an elite or something to come through.
Oh well, you'll see. We aren't quite done here yet. Also, that's the key we got from the warbase, the Cabal warbase, when we charged the Gatelord's Eye.
Right. We stole his eye and then we
The
charged
heart
it for
of the
him.
Black Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here goes nothing. Or everything.
So, does that open door remind you of anything in particular?
Not really, but that thing in the background looks very reminiscent of something.
Well, the pattern that the door, or the shape that the door took, is actually a Vex head.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Now this kind of looks like a heart in a way.
That is absolutely correct. This is the heart of the Black Garden.
They're doing the robot. I love that dance move.
Yeah, that's a lot of Vex.
So, think you can kill a god?
Is it really a god?
Choice.
I mean, the Vex consider it to be. It's incredibly powerful.
Power, god. Weigh it up. Is it a machine or is it organic?
You see, that one I don't know. It seems to be organic, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
It's nanomachines, Python.
So here we have it. This is the final encounter of the base game of Destiny 1. Our first order of business is to take care of all those goddamn Vex down there.
As it always should
Now, yeah. On like your first playthrough, without having used any sparks of light or anything, the best way I could tell you to fight this is to actually just stay up on that platform. Let the Vex come to you. Pick them off like one or two at a time. We're slightly more powerful than a new character would be coming into this point. So that's why I'm confident in coming down here and taking care of business.
See, my advice is don't be a pussy. Just fucking run in there, guns blazing.
I mean, you can.
You'll beat it
You
sometime.
might even survive. But here's where the boss fight begins.
The real Dark Souls starts
Hard
here.
is bringing that statue to life.
So yeah, as you can, you probably saw it in the cutscene. There's 3 of these statues, and we will have to kill every one of them.
Fantastic.
And the music's kicked in. I want you to keep an eye out, or an ear out for that music. It'll change as we go along.
This is kind of spooky music.
This is more or less your standard encounter music, kind of.
Got a bit of a robotic flair
Action.
to it though.
Yeah, it's definitely Vex inspired. In fact, I think they use the same kind of sound effects the Vex use.
This is truly a warning about the dangers of AI.
The Vex aren't no Geth, that's for sure.
True. I mean, if they're controlled by one thing, then they're less than AI, aren't they? Because they can't really think for themselves.
Exactly.
I mean, the Geth
That
can't
being
think for
said-
themselves either, so...
Keep fighting them.
Well, I mean, that being said, there is something obviously very intelligent controlling them.
And you have to wonder what that is. Maybe we'll find out in
Yeah.
Destiny 2.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll find out in the Grimoire cards. I have no idea. This is my introduction. I am the everyman in this LP. I ask the questions that the audience want to know. Like, how many penises do you think it has?
I mean, I honestly, I can't answer that, and I don't think I want to.
I can't say I'm not disappointed.
So, I have officially run out of skill, apparently. I ran out of auto rifle ammo, and very nearly died going to pick some more up.
If I knew more about basketball, I would give you a name about some basketballer who misses every shot. But I don't, so
look,
consider yourself lucky.
I mean, I don't either, or else I probably would have helped you out on that one.
All I know is like the ones that are good at the ball in the basket game.
So, I took off the Mida multi-tool because it was chumping things, but honestly, it didn't really help. I'm still kind of going through this faster than you normally would. Which is unfortunate, but what can you really do?
Well, you're not a brand new character, you know.
Yeah, exactly, that too. That being said, he is still capable of kicking my ass.
I mean, it would have been nice to, if they would have done a Final Fantasy XIV thing where they reduce your health down to... reduce your level down to what you would have been when you first did the encounter. That would have been interesting.
That would have been. I think I would have liked that.
In saying that, yeah, I do agree. You still are having some form of trouble with this boss.
Yeah, it's not just lying over and just handing the victory to me, by any means.
That's good. Is that ring around it getting smaller?
The ring around it, no, but it itself, I believe, is.
So basically the ring around it should be looking bigger.
Yeah.
This seems like a very bad defense mechanism. To put a little bit of yourself into those statues so you reduce the size of yourself, making yourself less powerful.
I mean, the Vex are weird, man.
I'd agree with that. The music has changed. It's gotten a whole lot more heroic and less... more Pirates of the Caribbean. Less, less, I don't know, the new Total Recall.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really cool touch how at the beginning it sounds really, really obviously Vex, and then as you go along, as you start thinning out the Vex, it starts becoming you're winning the day sort of thing.
So this is meant to stop the Vex in their tracks, right? Like, you've beaten their god, but I'm going to assume it doesn't do that.
Not quite. You know, gameplay conventions. The Vex still have someone somewhere pulling their strings.
Yeah, there's probably, I don't know, multiple gods, or someone realized the Geth weakened, and so they can take control of them.
Yeah, it's something.
We'll find out in Destiny 2.
Maybe.
4 days till release. Pre-ordered and preload now.
The Shroud of Darkness is lifting, and light returns to the Traveler.
That's it. Wait. Who? Wait.
The speaker is calling us home.
Bungie. Too many game companies that begin with B. Bungie, sponsor us. I'll give you a game a shout out. Call me.
So, we've done it. Ugg is victorious. Let's have ourselves a little rest.
Ugg did smash.
And we haven't seen this screen in a while.
No, I don't think we have.
But that's a lot of kills for a story mission, let me just tell you that.
For centuries we feared the forces of darkness massing against us. We sought to hide and cower beneath a broken god. No more. These guardians show us what we are, what we have always been, and what we will be again. We are what remains of the light, and we will not be stamped out.
It's a day for pretty speeches and medals. But we know the real fight takes place out there. Take this. There's so much more, Guardian. I've seen terrible things born out in the darkness. Every moment brings them closer. All ends are beginnings. Our fight is far from over.
Ugh.
So-
Smash.
So, on top of Bungie's thank you, I can't speak for Fox, but I want to thank you guys for sticking around. We are not done yet. We've got some expansions to do, but thanks regardless.